I mean, you've been through a million of these before, so
10.
okay, maybe not a million. Sorry. How do you, when you're going into this first preseason game, is it different for you than any other year? How do you kind of approach this?
Yeah, I think every year is different. Obviously in a new team, somewhat new familiar system, but with a bunch of different guys. So some nerves, but it's definitely exciting. So looking forward to it.
You still get nerves a little bit?
Oh, I get nervous for practice. So I mean, of course I'm gonna get nervous for the game.
With there being so many new guys, I know in the regular season you kind of have your core guys that you know are going to be in the huddle. What are some of the challenges during a preseason game when you have a lot more people entering and kind of that revolving door of being in the huddle during a preseason game?
Yeah, I think I just think that's something that just comes with it, and it's obviously you want everybody just to be on the same page, go out there, execute the plays, and let the results be the results. But I think it helps more from a standpoint because now like you're in it. Like it's not like us versus our defense. It's us versus us versus another team, and going out there and being able to see other guys, and try to, as a quarterback, put them in the best position possible to make plays, and whether that's getting into the right runs or throws and stuff like that. So I'm definitely excited to see that and see the guys out there make plays.
Where has your relationship and friendship with Izzy and Drew kind of helped the most during camp?
I know what they want. I know what they're looking for. Not just for myself, but for other players, and how the offense is supposed to look to a certain extent. Obviously they've been here longer than me, so they obviously have grown in different ways. But I definitely think it's helped me, kind of like fast track my thinking as far as like, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like from a mental standpoint going into practice and things of that nature. But definitely helped me like kind of somewhat be another extension of them and be another voice for them as well.
JG has talked about how in the preseason he's not really trying to game plan for the opponent. It's not like you guys are game planning for the Chiefs. But how different is that when you are going into a game knowing you're going to be lining up against another defense, but you haven't done that scouting in a sense?
Yeah, that's what makes that's what makes it hard. It's just like you would never go into a game and not know, hey, who's this guy? What are they doing? What are their tendencies? Like you would never do that. And it's just like what they say, let's just trust our rules. Let's go see what our rules tell us to do, and let's go out there and execute. They may get us sometimes, and we may get them, but like let's stay true to our rules. Let's execute. Let's line up and just do our fundamental day one things that we do every day in practice.
You've been in a bunch of different quarterback rooms. What's kind of the vibe, the conversation's been like so far this training camp?
It's been good. Obviously, learning each other a little bit more. And I think we got a really good room as far as the talent level is there, but also different perspectives from being around the league and being in different rooms. It's been good. I've really enjoyed being in this room.
You said you're kind of an extension of Drew and Izzy. How have you noticed Kyler kind of lean on that side of you since you got here?
I think I beat him to a lot of the punches that he is thinking because I'm new, and it's like, oh, you do know what we're talking about here. So the conversation is not very I would say elementary, where it's like, oh, this is this read, and it's like more of like, oh, what are you thinking versus this coverage, and you got this leverage. So I think that helped me kind of fast track our relationship to be able to communicate on the more I don't want anybody in our room to feel like they got to dumb themselves down to talk to me, and that's I think where we're at right now, and I think it's helped me because he knows that I kind of a little bit know football. So
What is something you've learned about Kyler that you've kind of just learned throughout training camp, watching him play, watching him operate?
Yeah, I mean his toughness, man. It's just going back and watching games and being able to see some of the things that he'll tell me oh, I was feeling like this day, and this is what I was going through, and we go through play by play and just seeing some of the hits that he gets up from, and I mean I joke about it all the time. It's to do the things that he do at his height. I mean if he was 6'5" doing that, he would be. People will talk about him as one of the greatest quarterbacks in this league, and it's just obviously he performs at such a level that I think gets overlooked a little bit. Not that I mean speaking for myself too, because I don't see the Arizona games often from where I'm from, but just being able to watch the game and see his toughness and seeing him stand in the pocket and deliver down the field and knowing he's getting hit, I think that's very underrated in this game. We kind of go through these games, and I'm just laughing at some of the things that he tells me. It's like, oh, I was thinking this, and my stomach was hurting. I'm like, what? But It's just so funny to see his like another guy's process and how they view the game and how they go about the game. So I've really enjoyed that.
He told us when he was up here that he's starting to embrace learning or working on the boring stuff. What is the boring stuff for a quarterback?
Make sure you get a good snap, calling the play right, saying the right cadence, getting in and out of the hole against the line of scrimmage, the plays that you get to take a play off, just take a play off, hand the ball off, boot out, and just get ready for the next play. And then, it's a hitch right there, take the hitch. I think that's the boring stuff that nobody looks at, but it's like probably the most important things of our game. Like the play won't start unless we get the snap. I think just enjoying that process of like doing the boring stuff. I think I fell in love with that after my third year. You kind of just understand, like, that's what takes the good guys to the great guys, and those things become like fundamental, second nature. And so, yeah.
Jacoby, when you say you get nervous for practice, is that real? You still feel that?
Oh, yeah. These guys don't know me. Like, I just got here like 2 months ago, and I'm going out there to try to show them, like, hey, I can play football, And, if I'm ever out there, I don't want them to think that the expectation changes. Their mindset should change. I know I want them to, I want them to know that we're still going, And being the new guy, you kind of have to like go out there and prove that every year, obviously. But like, I just feel like it's my first year again. I feel like I'm a rookie, and I'm trying to get my teammates' trust.
On the award with Kyler comes from his playmaking, his arm, his athleticism. But what's it like watching film with him? Like, where does his IQ really shine and pop out?
His ability to see the field. I think it's very underrated. And I know people don't like to talk about, but at his stature, being able to see the field and deliver the ball down the field in tight windows and very accurately, I think is very impressive. And just to hear his mindset of like he sees, I think that's the right way. He sees the. I feel like that sounds bad, but whatever. But like his ability to see the defenders like before they move, based on like what he knows they're doing. I think that's very underrated. He does it at an extremely high level.
With the hat that you're wearing right now, is that something that the 7? Is that something? What's the backstory of that? Did you just find a hat with your jersey?
Oh no, I've always worn this hat. This is a group called Compound. They came out with this hat a while ago, and they kind of look out for me because I didn't know I'm number 7, so I always wear it.
Before you got here, watching Kyler, however much you were able to, what did you think about what he could do at his stature? Were you impressed by it? Were you kind of baffled by it a little bit? Like, what did you think?
I honestly didn't know because it was like the first thing you could think about when you think Kyler is like, oh, he's fast, he's quick, he can get out of play and make plays outside the pocket. And you go back and watch the film, I'm like, damn, he makes way more plays in the pocket than you would think, And that's what I've been very impressed by because you go out there and practice, and you can see him intentionally trying to stay in the pocket and make the throws. And then you go to the game, and I'm like, wow, I saw you do it in the game, And I think that's been very impressive because when you go back and watch the games, like he's not scrambling to go down the field. He's trying to create plays down the field with his arm still. And like I said, dumb of me thinking like, oh, he's just running, like he's taking off just to run and get rushing yards when it's really, him using his arm.
Seems like throughout camp you took your shots downfield and shy away from that. Do you think this offense sets you up well to push the ball downfield?
Yeah, it's just like when I was in Cleveland in this offense and having guys that can go down the field and make plays, and make plays down the field. And I think Drew kind of calls those plays because he thinks I like him. So I kind of been forced to like him. But no, it's just being able to exploit that part of my game, but also that weakness in the defense.
One guy that you were connecting with is Palmer. What have you been seeing out of him this camp?
Yeah, I've seen the steady growth. Of him getting better, even dating back to OTAs, and when we're out there right now, we're trying to put a lot of guys in a lot of different positions to see, what they can do. And I remember early in training camp, I missed him on a go route, and then yesterday he goes down the field and makes a big one. That it's just going back to the draw. Like you do something, you mess up, you go back and watch film, and then you go back and correct it. That's all we ask for those guys. I think he's been doing a really good job of taking the classroom to the field.
Where do you think Drew thinks you like those plays, and do you like those plays?
Oh, I do, but it's more so I don't know why he thought that, but it's like, all right, we think the same way then.
When You talk about proving yourself to your teammates. Do you ever think about like what your reputation or perception is around the league, or do you care?
I really don't care from people that aren't my teammates, if that makes sense. Because when you go to a new team, you gotta they already have their perception, so you either gotta confirm or help them form their own opinion of you. And just listen to some of the guys, as I've been able to formulate a relationship with a lot of these guys, just oh, I thought of you this way and you're not like that, or you are like that. So it's just been hearing some of the things it's been funny to hear some of the things that people thought about me that are far from me, but some of the things that I'm glad that has carried throughout the league. I won't go into that, so don't ask me that.
You guys got some run against the first team defense yesterday. What was your thought, especially on that defensive front?
Yeah, they're flying around really good right now. And I think that's a good test for the two group as far as getting reps against the guys that are the one group. I would say it's all interchangeable, but I think it just kind of boosts your your level of focus, your level of intensity up a little bit, just knowing that's the one defense. But it's been good. I think it's a good competition. It's good for us as the other group to not go against quote unquote the same guys every day.
Doesn't seem like it seems pretty relentless, like you said. I mean, the one group and the two group. I mean, they're just rotating in and out.
Oh yeah, I know. So it's really not. It's not much of a difference, I would say. That's a good thing, though. That means you got depth.
Is this stop different than any other stop in your career?
Yeah, it's on the West Coast, 3 hours away from where I'm from. So that's a little different. But other than that, it's the thing that stays the same is the locker room. And you got to be a good teammate. You got to know what you're doing. You got to have the trust of your teammates, trust of your coaches. I think that stuff just stays the same. But for the most part, that's probably the only difference. Is it's my first time on the West Coast, so I'm up on East Coast time every night, every day.
Still?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
It's gotta be hard.
It is. I just go to bed early though.